Hello, I am Dominique Perrier and you're watching liveprog.
Hello there, welcome to liveprog. I'm your host Marcel Haster. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever bought an album just on a hunch? Just because you saw something and you got curious and you just bought it and you just decided, no, I'm gonna let myself be surprised. And I'll see whether I like it or not, but just gonna buy it. I have done that as well. In this review, of course, I'm talking about one specific instance that I did that. And that has all to do with my journey that I started a while back ago through electronic music. It's a new genre for me. I'm very interested by it. I find it very fascinating. And I find it is closely linked, related to progressive rock. Which album did I buy? This one, Electronic Medication by Nisus. Before I bring my review, I always do a little bit of research and I want to know a little bit more about the musician or the band that, made this beautiful music, to tell you a little bit more, especially if it's someone that's, a bit unknown. I mean, if I have a big name, everybody knows it, but in this case it would be nice to know a little bit more about Nisus. And that was a bit of a problem because I couldn't really find that much. There is no band website. There is a Facebook page, but it only had a little bit of information, and I picked up a couple of other links here and there, but altogether didn't really provide me with that much information. I did find a few things that were worth sharing with you. So, what was it then? First of all, the man behind this album, Nisus, Electronic Medication, is called Evert Vandeberghe, and he lives in Belgium. He's a big science fiction fan. As you can see already here, this sketch has been made by Evert Vandeberghe, and he does a lot more of those. So he's not only a big fan of science fiction, he is not only a musician, but he's also an artist in the form of, creating, drawings, sketches. I couldn't really find any other music connected to him, so I'm assuming that this is his debut album. So that's an interesting fact. And what enhances that idea is the fact that recently he won the Schallwelle 2012 award for Best Newcomer. So I have a feeling that this one is indeed his debut album. Okay, that's all I could find about, the person behind the music. Now what about the music? I mean, that's what we're here for, What do I think about this album? The style of this album intrigued me. And I'll tell you later a bit why I found it very fascinating, because he did something with this album that I find very nice. I like that. It is described on his Facebook page and on a remark on another website as a music in the line of the Berlin School of Electronic Music. What is the Berlin School of Electronic Music? I mention it in other reviews as well, but I don't think I've ever explained it. And there's a chance you think, what? Whatever, as long as it's nice music. I can understand that. The Berlin School of Electronic Music is originated, of course, from Germany. It is, a style of electronic music. It's mainly founded or started by bands like Tangerine Dream, artists like Klaus Schulze and a couple of others back in the early 70s. And they have played a very important role on the electronic music that we have today. One of the characteristics is, and very related to prog, you find long pieces of music. That's a little bit, to get an idea about the Berlin School. At the track listing of Electronic Medication, I think we are very accurate with our description here, because we have 4 tracks, 3 of them clock around 10 minutes, 11, you know, give or take a little bit more. But the title track clocks 38 minutes. So altogether, you know, despite the fact that we only have 4 tracks, we have almost 70 minutes of music here. Lengthwise, yes, definitely. But when we look at the first track, I found something very interesting there, what Evert Vandeberghe or Nisus did. The first track, Kingston Coffee, wow, that's, you know, when you're talking medicine and you have coffee is something that most people really need in the morning to get up and start working. So an opening track, Kingston Coffee, is a great title, and it shows already the idea behind the music. Electronic medication, this album is meant, you know, to help people feel better, feel happier, feel well, you know, deal with the problems in the world around us, give us some relaxation and rest. Well, coffee is one thing that definitely will help a lot of people feel a little bit better when they have to get up in the morning to go to work. This track is very nice, but I mentioned this whole Berlin School thing, and what he did here I find very fascinating. Because when I was listening to it, I had this whole idea of like this sounds very much inspired like Jean-Michel Jarre, and that is an interesting fact because I like the whole well, positive vibe in the song, the almost poppy synth leads and rhythms you find in it, and he continues that over the next track, Magnetic Miles, and this is what I found interesting about these first 2 tracks. I definitely hear that they are inspired by the Berlin School, but at the same time I hear they are influenced by Jean-Michel Jarre. Now, to my knowledge, Jean-Michel Jarre is not a part of the Berlin School of EM. You know, he's from a different kind of electronic music. Nevertheless, what Evert Vandeberghe, Nisus, does on this album is basically blend these 2 styles into one very nice sounding piece of music. I want 2 tracks, yeah, that's right. The album has 4 tracks, nevertheless, when I listen to it, I have the feeling that it's basically one long piece of music with a lot of variety in it, you know? It's not just one sequence from beginning to end. He adds a lot of elements to it, makes some changes in it. Nevertheless, you know, it's very hypnotic, the whole sound of it, and especially you get that when you come to the big track, the title track, Electronic Medication, 38 minutes. When you play that track, you can basically just lie down, close your eyes, and you will forget about the world around you. And you may have heard me say that before, and that is something I really like about this kind of music. I like progressive rock, I like heavy guitars, drums, you know, big opera kind of sounds, but I also like the electronic music because a lot of it is very calming, very restful. And it's the same as with this. I really enjoy that very much, enjoy listening to this album, and especially that long track, 38 minutes. And again, you know, he moves elements from the previous track into the next track. You have that here, but you will have that at the last track as well. What I listen to, when I listen to those 38 minutes of music, is a very soft sequence, just going on, you know, almost hypnotic. But along the way, it changes. He brings in a bit of a more heavy sequence, and again it moves on, and you know, last maybe 10-15 minutes he adds some percussion to the song as well. So along the way the song changes in sound, in style, and in atmosphere as well. I gotta say, I really enjoy that kind of music. Now that bit of a heavy sequence and that percussion, that rhythmic element, is moved on again to the last track, Black Body Ballad. From start to finish, it's a well-composed album. It's beautiful music. Yeah, it's very relaxing. That's basically what I can say, and I really like the whole blend between this Berlin School, because you can clearly hear that it's this Berlin School kind of electronic music, but I like the way he blends in the Jean-Michel Jarre influence with also the artwork, and that's something I gotta show you because this is the inside, and you have something you can take out, and again you have this drawing, but put it away for a moment because I have to unfold it here. This is what you find in it, and this one as well, very futuristic, you know, a bit reminds me a bit of a, you know, I don't know, Geiger, you know, Alien, that kind of thing. But that's what you find on this album. So the music is very relaxing, very hypnotic, very calming. Well, that's what I gotta say about this album. That's basically all I could find and all I could think of when I was listening to this album. I am definitely looking forward to what he will do next after this. But for now, Nisus Electronic Medication is definitely worth taking.